All right, so today I want to make a little video. I know a few people have done this, but anybody that owns any kind of hot rod, old school, and you running this master cylinder booster setup, you've got one of these. And these things right here are notorious for leaking. This is a new one. This is my old one right here that I took off. And the problem with these is they got this some kind of a check valve or something here in the front. And these things are notorious for leaking. And the issue is inside of this thing, supposedly. I've looked at them and discovered a couple of things. I pull this thing out and you can kind of see there's like a little booth and a little seal in here that kind of seals together, keep the fluid from coming out. But most importantly, the main issue with these is this thing's got a shuttle valve inside of here. And really can't see it, but there's a divot, like a little shoulder on each side, and it's a divot down in the middle. And when you order one of these, you get a pressure valve, I guess they call it. This one right here is a PV4. This is for a disc setup. This is for the disc drum setup, and this is what I'm running on my truck. But you got this little pressure switch here. If the shuttle valve in here moves one side to the next, what happened is, and this mainly happens when you're bleeding your brakes. If you try to bleed your brakes with this switch in here, more than likely it's gonna trip the shuttle valve in here, and it's gonna shuttle one side or the other. So you start from the rear first, you open your rear bleeds. What's gonna happen is this shuttle valve is gonna move towards the rear to block the fluid off, because it's sensing that you have a break or leak or some issue with your brake line in your brake system, and it'll throw this light. That's what gives you this light indicator on your dash, let you know that you got a brake failure or something or another is going on with your brakes. When this thing shovels one side to the next, it trips. And since whichever way it goes, if it blocks the rear, then you're getting less fluid to the rear. If it shuttles to the front, then you're getting less fluid to your front brakes. And mine tripped on me, and I never could get it back to the center point. This thing is actually stuck. So it shuttled to the front and it closes the brake fluid off. So I wasn't getting anything, hardly anything to the front brakes. Everything was just going to my drums. And what happened with that is you get too much fluid going to the back. It's gonna cause your drum brakes to lock up, and that can cause a lot of issues. So anyway, I just want to share this little video here with, I've seen a few videos on YouTube where people have different, same experience with these things, but they have different views about them. Sometimes you can find a good one that won't give you any problems, but these are offshore. These are kind of offshore Chinese brand. And these things are no very good quality control when they put these things together. They just kind of throw them together. But I'm gonna go with this one eventually. This is a four-wheel disc brake setup here. Still got a shuttle valve in here, but it works a little different, and also it doesn't have this thing, little check valve, pressure relief valve type deal in the front. And I'll pull this thing out. Pull this thing out of here. And now it doesn't want to come out. But anyway, I would like to pull this out to let y'all kind of see what's going on in here. If I can find the right winch to do this with. Pull this out, let y'all see what's going on in here and how this thing actually works. All right, I got it out. So in here, you pull this out and you got this shaft in here. If you pull this out, get your pair of needle nose or something. You can actually pull this thing out of here. So here we go. If you get your pair of needle nose, you can pull this thing out, and then you've got this guy in here. And this is got a little cap here. And what happened is most of them, they got little bits and pieces hanging off this area right here. And that's what caused this thing to leak in the front. So what you do, you pull this out and you check this thing. If you got any fray or anything that may obstruct your seal, you clean it up real good, put it back on, make sure you got a good tight seal. You put this guy back in here and put this back together. And 9 times out of 10, it'll fix the leak. That little drip that you get coming out of this little reset valve here. And that's basically how you fix this issue here with this little reset valve if just so happen to leak on you. But now I'm working on putting this one back on. That's a new one I ordered. I just put that on. I got to go get me a female/male flared fitting to go in there, because the back of these things, it takes a specific type adapter. This flare fitting here will not work in here. It's actually too small. So you have to use more than likely, you're gonna have to use an adapter to get that to work just right and seal, give you a good seal. But this is kind of where I'm at. I just want to make a little video of this thing here, just for all the guys out there that I know that it's been major issue with these things. They tend to leak, and also the shuttle valve in here tend to trip, in either direction, and it causes problems. And you have to shuttle this thing back. Right now you really can't see it that good, but it's tripped, and mine is actually stuck in here to where I can't get it to move left or right, front or rear, back, center. So it's just one of those deal with these offshore type proportioning valve. That's what you run into. But I'm not going to use this one anymore. I'm just going to trash this one, or just use it for demonstration purpose like I'm doing now. But I went to a different style, and that one, I already checked the reset valve. I pulled it out, checked the seal, everything looks good. I put it back. So now it's just a matter of getting everything hooked up and bleed the brakes all over again. Because once you start messing with these things, you take them apart, and you have to repeat the process of bleeding your brakes all over again. So Just want to share this little quick video with anybody that run a disc/drum setup on these master cylinder, master cylinder setup. You're gonna have one of these, and some of them are cheaply made. Most of them, anyways, cheaply made. You can get a good one, but if you're on a budget, you're more than likely. Most people run these brass style. I bought me a chrome style, so we'll see how that one works. All right, I'll give you all some update on this brake job once I get everything bled, and I'll give you guys an update on this brake job situation I got going on here. But yeah, I need to be able to stop this thing, and just having the rear drum brakes, no front brakes, very little to no front brakes, that's really not good. All right, I'll check in back with you guys on this, and I'll give y'all some update on it. But that's kind of where I'm at. All right. See, so I already got that. These are solid. You can buy these on Amazon, eBay. They're probably $3 or $4 or so. I bought a pack of 4, so I've got like 4 of them. But this is a block off. This keep that shuttle valve in here in place. So when you get to bleeding your brakes, it won't move either way. It won't shuttle to the front or to the back. It'll stay exactly where it needs to be. Once you get your brake bled, you can pull this out and put your switch back in. There's also another way to test this switch. You can get you a test light, and that'll tell you if this shuttle valve in here is tripped one way or another. Hook up your test light to your positive side of your battery and put your test light on here. And when you touch that switch, if it lights up, that shuttle valve in here is tripped. It's not centered. If it doesn't light up, you're in a normal position. So that's another way, quick and easy way to check to see if your shuttle valve in here is tripped and moved out of place. You can check it with a test light, and that'll pretty much kind of tell you right off the bat whether or not you got a problem with your shuttle valve in here. Because I've tested it, and sure enough, the old brass one I took off, that thing is definitely tripped. And I think it went to the front. It shows to the front and closed the majority of my brake fluid going to the front, and I didn't have hardly any brakes in the front. All I had was mainly the drum brakes in the back. So that's what this one looked like. It's chrome. I got all my lines back on, coming from the master cylinder. Line going to the front brakes. Now I got to put this side in for the back, for the rear brakes. So I'll give y'all some update on it, but that's what it looked like. I like this one. It looked a lot nicer. I had a little bit of issue with this side lining up, getting these flared screws to go in here. But anyway, I got them in there, and we'll see if anything leaks once I get done.